Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to another episode of Neon's Game Night. Tonight we are having a look at the indie action-adventure game Dungeons of Hinterberg. It released back in July, I believe on the 18th of this year, and I've been playing it off and on ever since. It's a game that has some Legend of Zelda elements, it has some Persona elements, some RPG elements here and there, and to say that it has been a breath of fresh air is a bit of an understatement. The game is developed by Microbird Games and is published by Curve Games, and pretty much ever since I hopped into this game, it's pretty much instantly became one of my favorite games of the year. As a matter of fact, I would probably have it as the leading the pack for my personal game of the year so far. I love this game. I put in like 3 or 4 hours into it the first session that I started playing it, and pretty much ever since I haven't been able to shut up about it. If you follow me on Twitter, well, first, if you don't follow me on Twitter, hashtag you're a fake fan, but B, if you have Twitter and you follow me on Twitter, you will know how obsessed with this game I have been. I have not been able to stop talking about it. And so I wanted to be able to give it a little bit of attention here on Neon's Game Night. And just here on the channel in general. I put in quite a bit of time on the Xbox version. I 100%ed the game and got all the achievements. And I'm currently going through it a second time here on the PC. And also being able to experience one of the first major updates that's happened to the game. That's evidenced by the outfit that we're in right now. This outfit isn't the default outfit. The outfit that you start the game with is this Luisa's outfit. Up until the September update, this is all you could ever, really look like. This is how Luisa looked. That's just Luisa's character. With the September update, they added outfits, and I have a few of them here. We'll be able to get a little more as we go along, but that's been a really nice addition to the game, is getting those outfits, and this is my favorite one that we have unlocked right now. So this is the first major sort of overworld area. The premise of the game is that it takes place in a sort of scenic tourist mountain village known as Hinterberg, and magic has been discovered there that has opened up different portals to about 25 dungeons that are filled with monsters and puzzles to discover and solve. So it's kind of become a bit of a tourist location to come and escape the city life and participate in dangerous dungeon diving and stuff like that. And so we play here as Luisa, who is taking a break from sort of regular life, being a practicing law, and is just trying to get away and have a bit of a vacation, or as they call it in Hinterberg, a slaycation. So you can come and slay some monsters. And so the premise of the game is really nice. I like the fact that it's sort of in a more modern setting, and you also get some commentary that way in terms of what it's like being when the modern day kind of clashes with these sort of really rural, touristy, sort of communal type areas. But we're in the first overland region that's called Doberkogel, and this area is my favorite of there's 4 main regions, and this one's my favorite, just simply because, I don't know, this just seems like the kind of idyllic mountain vacation that I always dream of, basically. I really like the mountains in real life, and this is kind of what I imagine being able to explore in real life. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of exploring. We might even do a dungeon so that we can kind of show off several different aspects of the game. As you travel around, you can find various interesting people to talk to. This person right here is just kind of a random NPC that sometimes will have useful information. It's just a regular adventurer that says, I've completed 4 of the dungeons on Doberkogel. Not sure if I'm ready to go to do a 5th, though. And they just say little things like that. But these guys are a little bit more unique. They're all wearing masks of a bunch of the different monsters around. So let's talk to them. Greetings, hero. Yes, welcome. Who are you folks? Nice costumes. Who are you? We are the real monsters of Hinterberg. The realist. And we have a quest for a hero such as yourself. I'm in! Sign me up. Really? Just like that? Alrighty. You see, we are collecting parts of our fallen brethren. For our club. For magical purposes, which we shall not discuss with a creature of flesh. But we have Hinterbucks, hero, buckets load of them. But also, rewards. Yes, rewards. We are creatures of magic. We shall increase your powers in ways of which you have not dared to dream in the wildest of your dreams. If you give us monster parts. Give us. Now. Silence! Yes, if you collect monster parts, bring them to us. We shall reward you very handsomely indeed. Right, so we got a quest. And this is a, our first reward will be, if we sell them 100 monster parts, they will give us a large health potion. So this is a sort of ongoing quest that you can take part in throughout the entire game and just sell them monster parts and get different rewards. I don't think I actually completed the entire turning quest line on my Xbox save, because thankfully that was not required as an achievement. But we're almost actually there for the 100, and the monster parts you get by killing monsters. It's just loot drops essentially. So let's go ahead and sell all of our monster teeth and our monster fur. It also gets us Hinterbucks, which is the currency that's specific to Hinterberg, that's been created to kind of help prop up this tourist industry. Oh, I guess we did actually get the 100 monster parts. So we got a health potion. Very nice. And after that, if we turn in 200 parts, they'll give me 10,000 extra Hinterbucks. So that's nice. That's very nice. They say that you better give it to them fast, but they're here the entire game. That's one of the things that was a bit weird when I first played it, was I was thinking that was like a time-limited quest. It's definitely not. So here in Doberkogel, as you can see, they kind of color code, kind of like little ski areas, like what dungeons are what rating. So Giant Cavern is a green rating 1, so that means it's pretty easy. Let's see if I can find another. See, there's a sign over there that has a 1 and a 3. So the Jelly Tunnels and the Minecart Workshop. So the 3 is a bit harder. Right now we're at a physical attack rating of 3 and a defense rating of 2. And so these are your stats. Here's kind of where the role-playing elements come in. You can do various things to increase your different stats, and you have different item grades and item sort of stats that can go up and down depending on various things, and depending on what kind of build you're doing. You can focus more on magic attacks, you can focus more on physical attacks, stuff like that. In here is also where we have a very handy quest log and the stamp book. The stamp book sort of tracks your progress through the game's dungeons. And as you can see, I haven't done the giant cavern, which is unstarted, and the little ribbons that are next to it indicate whether or not you've gotten these coins. Each of the dungeons has a little commemorative coin, and before the September update, you just kind of had to keep comparing your list here and then going back to the journal to see the stamp book to see if you got all of them, and it was a bit cumbersome to do that. And thankfully with the September update, they made it very easy. You can just kind of look here, and for all of the dungeons that I've done so far, I've gotten the coin. So let's go and follow that route to the giant cavern then, so that we can do a dungeon. And these little flame or shard looking things that indicates little items to pick up. Right, so I think it was this way, wasn't it? To the giant cavern? Yes. And all of these different areas have a lot of places to explore, and sometimes they have like optional areas. Like there's an optional area with some really big, tough enemies. Usually if they're signposted like that, that means they're dangerous and that they're a much higher level than you. So a lot of time you can still take them on if you're really skilled at the combat. You can take them on and try to avoid, and they'll be kind of bullet spongy and take them down. But I don't really need to go that way, because if you can see off in the distance there's a treasure chest that's opened. So I already got the treasure chest that's associated with that. But we can go through here, even though it looks like I could actually bypass this fight. Let's actually go through it and get into a little bit of a altercation, shall we? You might notice real quick up at the left-hand corner of the screen is my health bar and my magic bar. And the LB and RB buttons are my magic skills. This one's a bit of a range thing. This one is a big boulder that you bring down, and then you can explode. The health, as you can see, I'm missing a portion of my health. That's because of a choice I made the previous day to stay up late and watch TV. I'll be able to kind of show that off to you, hopefully, in the process of making this video. So let's get to it. There's a bit I want to be able to cover here, so let's go ahead and get going. You got a light attack with X and then a heavy attack with Y. You can also do various things with they're called attack conduits. So I've got a couple here. I've got one that's kind of a distance strike. So that was one of my attack conduits. The attack conduits can really help with crowd control. Alright, come on. B to dodge. Nice mix of light and heavy attacks. You can stagger various enemies, and it's important to note, like, if you use your magic and it depletes, you can recharge it by doing heavy attacks. So it's a really interesting mix of little things that you can do within the game to have during your combat. There's a lot of different things to sort of mix and match, whether it's your magic abilities, whether it's your attack conduits. Later on, you can augment that even more with these things called charms that augment your attack damage, that gives you faster cooldowns on your attack conduits, that boosts the damage of your magic, that converts your physical attack stats to magic stats. There's a whole bunch of little ways that you can customize your experience, and strikes a really good balance of being extremely accessible, but also very in-depth and rewarding to mess around with. So we're just collecting a little bit of loot. There's a lot of different things you can find along the way. There's also just a lot of times just little places like these that just kind of exist to really pull you into the world and allow you to vibe a little bit. And there's like a good portion of my playtime on the Xbox version was actually just walking around these areas and taking in the environments and the scenery. Like, really making it feel like a bit of a vacation, not just for Luisa here, but also for myself. Just taking in the environments and really kind of taking what the game's themes are to heart in terms of being able to slow down and kind of catch your bearings with who you are and really find that within yourself. We passed another three-headed monster place earlier, but that's another one. See, there's a treasure chest back there, but I know from experience that these are like defense level 7 and 8 enemies, which we are only level 3. And so trying to do that it would probably get rid of all of our health potions, and we want to do a dungeon, so it takes a long time too. But there's no shortage of just incredible views and just parking in one place and taking pictures and stuff, because there's a photo mode and everything, which also just got some really nice updates as of the patch for September. Like, you can now, the photo mode was there from launch, but they've gotten a lot of different little updates to it, like being able to apply little filters and strike different poses. So let's go ahead and just sit here on the no, we want that. Well, let's get rid of the filter. Yeah. And then you can toggle UI, take screenshots. I've taken a ton of different screenshots in the game, but I really love just going around taking pictures and having a good time. So for all you virtual photography fans out there, this game is a great one for that as well. Alright, so we're almost to the giant cavern. This is another pretty mean area, and because that's where also a much higher level dungeon is. But let's go through this little maze here. I'm not going to go through all the different branches because I know how to get through here. Or at least I say I do. And then it's going to be famous last words. I accidentally go down one of the places that leads to a dead end. Yep, I just did. There we go. Right on cue. Alright, and there's what a dungeon looks like across there. There are these purple portals that open up. So let's get on over there and see what we can do in there, shall we? Alright. Giant cavern. Let's do it. An otherworldly heat emanates from the portal. Am I really ready to do this? This dungeon should be just about right for me. So it also will focus on the dungeon rating before you go in and kind of give you an idea of how you stack up for it based off of your equipment and your stats. So that's also a very nice quality of life feature. Let's enter the dungeon. It's also going to be interesting doing a dungeon having my HP debuffed. So as part of some of the social elements of the game and some of your stat raising stuff, there's also trade-offs you can take in terms of getting different buffs or debuffs depending on what you do in any given day, and you can be really strategic about it and, you know, try to do things that'll keep your HP up during times that you want to do a dungeon versus doing some exploration. Because there's also, aside from dungeons out in the overworld areas, there are these relaxation spots that you can choose to spend your time at for the afternoon that just helps to increase Luisa's stats more than it does to, like, you know, complete a dungeon, but that'll be what you do for that particular day. So, alright, we need to figure out how to get through here. So let's push this. I can see that there's something up here. There's some kind of space. Maybe we push that a little bit farther. Okay, I can move my way up here. We got the white paint to indicate that we can climb it and everything. You can't manually jump in this game, which on more than one occasions definitely has created some issues. You just kind of run to the edge and you'll leap. So I didn't really explain what I just did there very well, but there was a little wall that could be broken by using my little explosive ball thing. So that's what I had to do in order to get that open. Okay, so I mean, there's the dungeon, there's the ending of the dungeon right there. But the question is, how do we get up there? And this is one of the things that I think this game does so remarkably well, is its puzzle and like level design. It's such a smooth experience when you're sort of playing and being able to see, okay, that's where I need to go. And you just are able to take a few moments to kind of assess where things are and what you might need to do. And just some pure experimentation will really quick get you on the right path. And then it's easy to kind of just put all of those different elements together and see like, oh, okay, I think I need to do this. Like, okay, so here's this kind of white rock here that has a bit of an X on it. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we can blow up. And so, but it doesn't look like I don't have enough room to call that down here. So, can we push this forward a bit more? Okay. So that would be nice. Can I get it up there? No, I cannot. But if I was standing up there, I could probably get that element there. Ooh, and there's something over there. Oh, looks like there's a couple different things I might be able to do. Well, let's actually go ahead and push this all the way forward and see what kind of options this gives to us. Shall we? Ah, there's another thing there. Oh, so there's a couple different things we can do. So let's try this first. Because it looks like there's 3 different ways that we can go right now. If we have that here, we can jump over there. If we have it all the way to the edge here, we could probably go down into there. Or we can follow the route all the way up. But let's go do this one first. Hey, there's a chest over here. That's nice. We got new armor. Very nice, very nice. Let's get into this minecart here. And that takes us back out to the front. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. However, if I do that again, I should maybe be able to get that. Oh, okay. I see. I thought maybe I'd be able to do something over this way, but now I'd need that back over here, and I don't think that's going to work. Why doesn't that work? Okay, well, let's go ahead and go down and push this forward to the edge. What I also enjoy about the puzzles is there's typically more than one thing that you can work on at any given point, so it never really feels like I've never gotten stuck on a puzzle and felt like I was just having to beat myself against a wall, which can be very tough with some of these kinds of puzzle games, and I'm really happy that that wasn't the case at all. so we got this. There's another button to push here. What do we got? Okay, this goes across there. Alright, so that one goes there. It doesn't look like we can go up that because of that goop. And I don't think we can... Oh, we can. Oh, so that puts the ladder down there. Gives us a little shortcut, which is very nice. Let's hop out here. And I just noticed... No, that's where we came into the room from. So I don't know what all these little carts are for, if they're not... But it seems like they're just to get us back to this area. Oh, we've got enemies. Got a little ambush here. These are weak enemies. They're not even trying to fight. Oh, these ones are a bit tougher. Let's do a whirlwind. That was one of my other attack conduits. Alright, coming back here. Come here, little goblin. Yeah. Yeah, little goblin. Okay. Now, let's do that upper path and see where that takes us. The combat... Ooh, we got it at the chest. Resonant pads. Cool. Okay. Climb down. So that seems to be not what we want. Let's go back down here. Now we need to figure out a way to take that out. And I am not seeing a way to do that just yet. Wait, what is this? There's an elevator up there. But how do you get up there? I am definitely missing something. You know how I said I never really got stuck? Well, famous last words. Okay, so what we could do, though, we can climb back up this. And if we put this way... Oh, I missed this. It's just another chest. And there's one of the coins. Okay. But now that that's there... Oh, I know what I can do. Right. So, in order to get over there, I can go back into this cart. And it rides me back up here. And that's how we can access that way. Obviously, we can't do anything with that right now. But I'm just remembering that I can also do that for the other side. So, that allows us to do this. My instinct was correct. I just had a little bit of a time catching the picture. So we can take this back, and what I'm saying is ride that cart back up to that first area. Is what gets us to have this here in order to do the explosion and get that little rock area opened up. Yep. That's exactly what we had to do. Bring that down, explode it, and there we go. Perfect. Let's just leap off of here. Nice. Some of the dungeons are more puzzle-based, some of them are more combat-based. None of the dungeons utilize a lot of the same techniques more than once or twice. Every dungeon feels incredibly unique. there was never really a time that I felt like going through dungeons was repetitive, because all the dungeons were so vastly different from each other that it never felt like that dungeons were getting old at any point. Alright, there I pulled off a perfect dodge, which slowed down time for a little bit. So that got us there. This is going to activate that down. Perfect. This is going to take us down to the bottom, and that's going to pretty much complete that dungeon, I believe. I will probably have a bigger fight at the top, but that is no big deal. Alright, let's get out of here. Dungeon complete. Haha! Oh, nope. No enemies at the top here. But we do have one final chest that's a charm. And see, these charms here are... you can equip them on these different slots. There's different ways that you can shrink these to take up less slots. And so you can mix and match more charms. So let's get the stamp. We got the stamp, we got the coin. Let's get out of here. And so once you either complete a dungeon or you relax at an area for the afternoon, you'll be taken back to Hinterberg proper for the evening. But the thing that has stuck out to me the most about this game is just how impossibly polished it is for an indie experience. It's a small development team, and the product they put together here just blows my mind. Like, this isn't just my frontrunner for Game of the Year. Oh, this is Klaus. Klaus is one of the first people we met in Hinterberg, and was kind of our training instructor for the dungeons. He says, "Hey, Luisa, if you're free in the evening sometime, why don't you stop by the tourist info? I'd love to hear how you're doing. And if you have any questions about Hinterberg, technically that's what I'm there for. I'll stop by." Right. And he's looking forward to it. And he walks off. As you come back, sometimes different events will trigger, and different people approach you and say, hey, they'd like to spend time with you. You're able to strike up friendships and relationships with a lot of different people. As a matter of fact, that's another thing that's in our log here. We get a bit of a roadmap of everybody that you can meet in Hinterberg and spark a relationship and a friendship with. And at each tier, you can get different perks as part of your relationship. So if you're just acquainted, you can unlock one of the perks. If you become friends, you can unlock more perks, and the farther along, the better the perk that you get is. So right now we're buddies with Alex, and that's it. Everybody else we've either just met or are acquainted with or never met. And so that adds a whole other layer to the game where you can really focus on the social element and going and meeting these characters, talking with them, seeing what their life is about. Sometimes they'll have different quests for you. You can get them gifts. Different characters will like different gifts. And that's just another element of the game that I really love, and again lends to that feeling of kind of escaping the tedium of regular everyday life and sort of being somewhere in a sort of a setting that you have this opportunity to just talk to people. But this is the map of Hinterberg itself. These arrows indicate where these different districts connect. So right now we're in it's called the edge of town. This is Shopping Street. This is the city center. And then that is the tourist info area. So we'll probably go and talk to Klaus and spend the evening with Klaus, but I'll show you around Hinterberg and sort of what you can do and get up to. And as you could see in the map, all these different characters are represented. If you can talk to them, if they're doing something, you can sort of see what the name that they are and what kind of stat you'll increase by hanging out with them. So if I hung out with Marina, I'm going to increase my amusement stat over here. So your renown, amusement, familiarity, and relaxation are mostly stats that just kind of they can lock certain quests. They can help increase your health and some of your stats, and there's some equipment that are called resonant. Let's see here if I have any. Resonant body armor. It's magical body armor that resonates with your social stats. So if you have really high social stats, this is going to be some of the best armor you could ever get, because it's going to increase the stats beyond what a lot of times you can find elsewhere. So that is that, and like I say, the game is just so picturesque, and it really puts you in a mood to just kind of slow down and walk everywhere, because it's not a massive open world that has a whole bunch of checklist items and tasks for you to do. There's a couple characters that we could hang out with. This is Kai. He's a really crazy, weird social media hippie, essentially. And he's great fun. That is Travis. He's kind of a very pessimistic journalist. He's who you have to talk to in order to get photo mode going. And just in general, his outward demeanor basically makes it seem like he hates it here. But the characters have a lot of depth to them. You learn more about them as you become friends with them, and as you do their quests. You get to experience different sides of them and experience sort of what their story is and why they're in Hinterberg. But I wanted to come here because this is the outfit shop that was added with the recent update, and I want to buy another outfit. So let's do it. And so the outfits, I think, gave a really good, another really great avenue for things to collect and just things to do, and just even more reason to play the game, because I love playing this game, but it also connects some of the outfit unlocks with the commemorative coins. As you can see, we would have enough coins to buy these outfits here, but I do not have the money. I need 50,000 Hinterbucks in order to do that. And so, as you can see, in order to get the lederhosen, you have to have 20 commemorative coins. So that's another nice incentive for the commemorative coins. I think previously the only thing that you got for having the commemorative coins was you could unlock an achievement, several different types of achievements. But do we want to purchase another outfit? Yes, another weekend warrior outfit. Let's do that one. And why not? Let's equip that. But I love the outfits that they made for it. I think they're really stylistic. They're really fitting to the game world, and I think they look incredible. And so there's our new outfit there. It's basically just a spin on the one that we just had, but I enjoy the variety. I think that's really nice. Although it does feel really weird to see Luisa as not a redhead. There's several of the outfits that kind of change her hair color. And having played over 30 plus hours as Luisa in the base game, where she's only has one outfit, it's weird seeing her with different colored hair. So I had, even on my main Xbox save, and I unlocked every outfit that I could, I usually stick to the ones that have her red hair still in there. But yeah, just a lot of serene vibes. It's a really good game to just vibe in. So At this point, it's kind of become a new favorite of mine all time, for sure. There's also other things that you can do in town. This is a movie theater, and you can go to the movie theater and watch a movie, and that will increase one of your stats. Which stat does it do? It's probably relaxation. We can go and we can find out. Let's see here. Yeah, you could just do something by yourself. They're showing a documentary on magic dungeons from all over the world. Doing this would improve the magical attack, so maybe later. There's the movie theater. There's a couple other things you can do in town. There's a spa up here that you can do that will increase your relaxation. You can go on a boat ride and rent a boat out and go out onto the lake. You can also go by the campfire. I don't think anybody's over at the campfire right now, but we can go show you that. Several of the stores on Shopping Street are just gift stores, so they're for trying to get gifts for the different people that you have relationships with. This is the weapon shop that you can buy and sell your gear that you got. Let's see if we can't sell some stuff. Wave Striker. Let's go ahead and sell that. Let's sell the Slay Tector armor because it's not nearly as good. We'll want the resonant pads so we can sell the tankware pads. But let's get those equipped. Resonant pads, perfect. I didn't show you the buy. The buy screen has a bunch of different things, various levels, different. We can't upgrade them right now, but later on in the game you can upgrade your weapons and armor and put different enchantments in them. And so depending on the weapon or the armor, sometimes they'll have different upgrade, the amount of upgrades you can use. Sometimes they'll have different enchantment slots. Sometimes they'll have a really high physical damage but no enchantment slots that can help you further. And vice versa, it could have a bunch of enchantment slots but not very much physical damage because you're trying to augment that with your enchantments and stuff. Right, and this is the campfire. Sometimes you'll have opportunities where a bunch of people are sitting here around this campfire and you can join them for the night, and it'll kind of increase your relationship with all of them as well as increasing your other social stats. But nobody's there right now, so let's go and talk to Klaus. He's down here at the tourist info building. All right. Little touristy office and everything like that is very nice. Right now, at this point in the game, we're just kind of checking out all the dungeons. There's been a couple weird earthquakes that have happened, and part of the main quest, or part of the story, revolves around finding out what might be causing some of these disruptions as they start to get worse, kind of uncovering some different secrets around the town that can play a role in the events that keep happening. So those, don't want to get into spoilers, but that's kind of what the premise of the game's story is as it gets further along. I was hoping you'd stop by. Good to see you. How's adventuring? I hear you're doing well. Better. Yeah, it's gotten easier. Listen, if you're not busy, can I take you out for dinner? Would be nice to hear your perspective on some things. And spending the evening with Klaus would increase my familiarity. Sure. Let's spend time with Klaus. And then, so once you decide to spend time with somebody, you get a little cutscene like this that is dependent on the character, dependent on the situation, and will kind of have a different scenario each night. So Klaus orders a vegan dish. The host knows him well. He makes no effort to hide his disapproval, as any small town restaurant owner normally would. You know, going through something like this earthquake, a lot of people would have just gone home. Those that stay, they often get reckless, beat death once and all that. That's what had me worried. But you've got your head on straight. Makes you a rare species around here. What do you mean by that? I took 8 rookie adventurers into the beginner's dungeon today. 8. You wouldn't believe some of these clowns. One of them wore a Mexican wrestling mask and insisted I call him El Enigma Aleman. Everything in Hinterberg is enabling this behavior. The bureaucrats, the marketing, the whole damn machine. I should get a nickname too. What do you think of Jackknife? Delightful. Sounds just like you. Everything's been back to normal in that dungeon since, you know. Still, I'm on edge every time I take someone new. Peak season around here, we have 24 adventurers arriving every day. So I mentioned the earthquakes. The first earthquake that we experienced is actually as we were doing the beginner dungeon and going through the tutorial, which isn't typically what happens, and gave a pretty great scare to Luisa and to Klaus and to the whole town for a little bit. So that's what they're referencing there. We should limit that. We should be looking at magic with awe and wonder, not greed. I agree. Sooner or later, what happened to me on my first day will happen to someone else, and they might not be so lucky. Exactly. I keep going back to how cushy this job has been. That has to change. I can start by reevaluating security. If they're so damn keen on keeping up the pace, they'll have to give me a team. And it sounds small, but the dungeons are full of trash. So are the hiking trails. We can't even keep people from littering. How are we going to let them get them to understand this isn't a playground? I mean, you hold some sway, you might as well use it, Klaus. People know him, and not just around here. Maybe you can use that. Maybe I can. I need to think about this some more. Maybe stop by if you're not busy. On a related note, if you ever find any gear that's covered in goo, don't throw it out. Bring it to me. I know how to clean up that sort of thing. Thanks for the evening, Luisa. It's been good seeing you. Right, so we leveled up our relationship with Klaus, and we are now buddies. And sometimes you'll get different weapons and armor that have goo on them, which basically means they'll have reduced stats until you come and get them cleaned by Klaus. Has been a long day, and at the end of each day you get a sort of a summary of what happened throughout the day, what kind of stats you got in that increased, if you got more HP, what kind of loot you found, and the monsters you've slain. It gives you a really nice summary of everything that you've done, and as you end the day you get a final choice of what to do. You can go straight to sleep, and that will keep your HP full, or you can read from this book or watch TV. And each of those things will increase some of your different aspects. So I think this one does familiarity. You could read the Slayer's Guide to Hinterberg and increase in familiarity, but you'll be tired and it'll reduce HP another time. Let's watch TV instead. Haha, I want to watch SpongeBob. Yeah, so that'll increase my amusement. Let's do it. Anything for SpongeBob. There's a talk show on. Oh, that's boring. Seems to be about weird hobbies. And this is the longest scarf I ever knitted, made out of the finest mohair and well over 10 meters long. How interesting. On to our next guest. Heinrich loves insects and has been breeding moths for the last 5 years. We might have even brought us some today. Welcome, Heinrich. Oof, I'm getting really sleepy. And then Luisa goes to sleep. It's really interesting because I don't think on my Xbox save, I'm up to about 80 plus days on that save, and I'm pretty sure out of all the times, there was a time where I even just focused on increasing my stats, and I would go and I would do the alternate between doing the TV and doing the book. There's an incredible amount of variations of the different things that you can like supposedly read and watch. Like, I can't really remember off the top of my head even seeing the same thing twice when I was doing that, and that was for quite a few days in a row. So that's a pretty incredible little bit there, and I it was something that kind of impressed me. It's a small thing, but I thought that was really interesting. And Teresa is the person that owns the little bed and breakfast that we stay at. And she heard that there was an accident on Kolmstein. Oh boy, some people crashed into their hoverboards. Kolmstein is the very icy, snowy area of the game. And so once you usually talk with Teresa, later on you can do other things in the morning before you actually head off in different places, and you get to select a different area, which area you want to go, all complete with their own different suite of dungeons and things to unlock and places to explore. And before we head off today, I think we're just going to go to Hinterwald to send us off, just so that we can see something new, and maybe find one of those relaxation spots to end the day. So each day has the few phases. You have morning, noon, evening, and night that it cycles through, and it's just that same cycle every day, which I think it really works really nice, because none of the cycles really feel like they have to be the dominating thing. Obviously, if you spend a lot of time exploring the areas before you go and do a dungeon or do a daily activity here in the afternoon, this is going to be where the main gameplay is, but it never makes you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. And it makes it really easy to just kind of go with the flow and not feel like you have to optimize your path forward through the game, which in a game that's all about like decompressing from the everyday life of, adulthood and kind of reclaiming some of your agency and time, just having that kind of low stress, go with the flow feel really works very well in the game. So let's go ahead and sell back some of the monster parts that we acquired yesterday. We got 19 more, so that'll get us some extra money. So that is nice. Don't really want to go over there and fight monsters. Ooh, this is our friend Alex. Hey, so you're exploring Hinterwald now, huh? Got your magic abilities for this area yet? Further up the route to the skill shrine, there's a dungeon on top of the trees. You should check that one out first. Perfect place to try out your new spells. Right. Oh, okay, yeah. I can't do any other exploring without going to get the skills and the dungeon first. So that's a bummer. It's a bit of a bummer. But let's go ahead and fight these guys real quick and get over to the skill shrine. So these ones are level 2 guys, so these are a bit tougher, but not too bad. Do that big slam there. Ow. Get out of the way of that guy. Ow. Didn't work. Don't hit me. Don't hit me, please. Yeah, get down on the ground. Smash. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so each new area you have to go to the skill shrine and get new powers and abilities, and they are always usually like surrounded by a little area that kind of onboards you into those new powers. So let's just go ahead and get them, and I'll show you what these ones are for this area. So you usually focus on them, and you will get the different powers, and it'll kind of walk you through how to use them. And everything is very natural. It picks up... It introduces challenges at a really good pace after this to really show you like how to best utilize them. And so we can either turn into a tornado or throw a wind projectile. So this is the ranged one. We throw a big wind projectile, or we can shoot out a tornado, but you can also go into it and carry yourself, which will be extremely helpful across these things. Those are all uncrossable, but we can do that and go across the ledge like that. But, so that's very nice as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all the time I have for tonight with Dungeons of Hinterberg. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing. Let me know how I'm doing in the comments section down below. And if Dungeons of Hinterberg looks interesting to you, you should check it out. It's on Xbox Game Pass right now. It is on Steam. I'll have a Steam link down below. But you should definitely play this game. It's my favorite game of the year so far, and has easily become one of my favorite games of all time. I will sing the praises of this game like on top of roofs and everything like that. But give it a look, give it a play. Hopefully you won't regret it. I am giving it a firm seal of approval. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Other than that, I will catch you all in the next video. Cheers.